You say something in English, but people don't understand what you're saying. You say it again, but they still ask you to repeat. It's not your accent. It's something else. And I'm going to help you fix it. I'll show you the small handful of sounds that actually break understanding. And the big famous ones you can stop worrying about today, including the one that everyone is worried about most of all. Think about nothing but fears, brother. Thousands of them creeping through the theatre with their feathers out. Think this 3. Here's the truth. It doesn't matter. Voiced th, as in the word this, sounds almost the same as v, this. And unvoiced th, as in the word thanks, sounds almost the same as f, thanks. Say think, say this, say 3 for 3. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever been confused. It is the most overtaught and the least important sound in English. So if you've been losing sleep over your th, you can stop right now. That's the first thing off your back. There is more. All across the UK, people do the exact same thing. From Glasgow to Manchester to Bristol and Birmingham all the way to London. I'm serious. Google it. Don't believe me? Check this out.
I was actually going to South Africa at the time.
Stop being so anal with my privacy. What's the worst that could happen? Nothing.
With my brethren, and then I was living with 17 other kids.
Think, this, that, 3. Replacing th with s or z, the s or z sounds, is a bigger mistake because it really makes it more difficult to understand you. Think, everyone understood. Sink is a place where you wash your dishes. Or if you drown, submerge underwater, like a ship. So just remember, f and v are your true friends. Forget about the th. Drop it. What you shouldn't drop is your accent. You don't need to sound British. You don't need to sound American. You need to be comfortable to understand. And that's a completely different target and much easier. Your accent is not the problem. Your accent is you. Now, to some things that do need fixing. The first one isn't about which vowel you say. It's about how long you hold it. Listen to these. Ship, sheep, live, leave, full, fool, chip, cheap, litter, liter, beach, bitch, shit, sheet, dark, duck, musk, mask. Same kind of sound. The only difference is the length. Short, long, and that length is the whole word. Hold it wrong and you haven't got an accent. You've said a different word, and now your listener is lost. Quick story. Years ago, I was learning the word musty, an old word that is used to describe the smell of an old room. Once, my friends and I were sitting outside a bar, and it didn't smell very well there. I said, "This place is musty," to an English friend of mine. He just looked at me. No idea. I said it again. He was like, "What are you trying to say?" I explained that I meant it smelled like we were sitting in an old wardrobe with super old clothes. Then he goes, "Oh, musty. We don't say masty, it's just musty." He was hearing a word that didn't mean anything because I had stretched it too long. And that's the lesson most people miss. Length has a target and you can miss it on both ends. Some words you're cutting too short. Some, like me in the story, you're holding too long. So the job isn't stretch everything out. The job is to hit the right length. Now the one I see break more than anything else, every single day, with my own students. It's not the start of the word, it's the end of the word. Crab, crap. Bag, back. Pig, pick. Crab comes out crap. Bag becomes back. And here's a little story that proves it. I once asked a class of children to write down as many animals as they could. Some of them wrote crab, spelled with a P. C-R-A-P. They wrote down exactly what they say because it's very hard for Vietnamese people to pronounce B at the end. But you gotta try your best. You really don't want to order crap at the restaurant.
Et voilà!
Why does it happen? Because B and P are almost the same sound. Voiced and unvoiced, just like V and F. For B, your voice is switched on. You can feel it hum. For p, it's just air. Under pressure, the voice drops out and the b quietly turns into p. And the fix is 2 small moves. And the first one you already have from a minute ago. The vowel before a voiced ending runs a little longer. Crab is longer than crap. So just hold the vowel. That's a crab again. And sometimes when a word is hard to say, some people do this. They don't pronounce one of the sounds at the end to make it easier for them. Boo for book, car for card. The trouble is, the sound they drop is often very, very important. Drop it and the word doesn't exist. Like the kids I used to teach would ask me, may I go out? What? Go out? So far, we have been inside single sounds. Now let's look at the sound of the whole word. Every longer word has one part that you hit harder than the rest, putting this stress on the wrong one, and the word is not real, even when every single sound is actually perfect. Photograph, photographer, photographic. If you put this stress in the wrong place, becomes a word that they have never heard in their life. They are not judging your accent. They are listening out for an accent, but it isn't where they expect it. You can hear this in comfortable, 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 comfortable. Native speakers don't even say all of it. We just say comfortable. The parts you don't hit go lazy. They shrink down to a tiny comfortable. That's normal. That's the music of the word. And here's a strange one. A few words are spelled exactly the same way, but are pronounced in 2 different ways. And grammar quietly decides which. I estimate the cost. Can you send me an estimate? Same letters. The verb gets the full sound at the end, and the noun goes lazy. Same trick with separate and separate. To separate means to disconnect. Separate when you mean 2 things are apart from each other. Graduate and graduate. A graduate is someone who finished university, and to graduate is the action of finishing university. You record a record. Verb noun. That's a whole video of its own. For now, just know that the accent and the lazy bits aren't just decoration. Last one, and it's the sneaky one, because everything so far has lived inside a word. This one is about which word in the sentence you push the hardest. Take this sentence. I didn't say she stole the money. Now watch what happens when I move the stress. I didn't say she stole the money, meaning someone else said it, not me. I didn't say she stole the money, meaning I never said it. Maybe I wrote it on a paper. I didn't say she stole the money, meaning I said someone else did. I didn't say she stole the money, meaning maybe she only borrowed it. I didn't say she stole the money, meaning she stole something else. Same words every time. The meaning moves with the stress. This one explains the worst feeling of the lot. Every word correct, grammar correct, and you still sound foreign, and people still have to listen very carefully to follow you. You haven't said anything wrong, you just put the stress on the wrong word, so the listener has to work hard to understand. That's when they ask you to say again. But it's an easy fix. Do you agree? So here's the whole thing again. Remember, how long you hold the vowel is important. The end of the word is important. The word stress is important. The sentence stress is important. And don't lose your accent. Your accent is you. Fix those, ignore the rest, especially the th. I've put together a simple file with the word pairs that can be confusing and the 4 things to remember and fix, so you can practice that. Read them, give them to your AI, and ask it to practice with you. The link is in the description or pinned comment. Of course, it's free. Take it, use it, and nobody will ever have trouble understanding you. Enjoy. By the way, if you understand English well, but still struggle to speak, I know why. I talk about it in this video. It's gonna appear here, right here. Click it. So I'm not saying goodbye, I'm saying see you over there.